Hello truth seekers, and welcome to our new regular program in which we reveal the dark underbelly of Tinseltown as it unveils Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Gender-neutral grammar assassin welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our channel. Well, we did not forget about you guys. Oh no, and we are back with some tea that is going to leave Meghan organic fair trade coffee taste more like dishwater. Holy shit y'all, we just hit DEFCON royal button down and I am not fucking playin'. I seem to remember you being the one, for example, excavating a pit deeper than those in the dungeons of the Tower of London on behalf of the Sussexes. Brace yourself to hold the shovel even deeper. Anyways, before we dive into that nightmare, make sure to hit the subscribe and notification button if you haven't already. Subscribe now, so you do not miss out on what is to come on these bombs. Well, good old Prince Edward, the Queen's not disgraced son. So he goes into play with arguably the sickest tooth pull of them all, and really, all must bow to this supercut. Now let's rewind a bit. Remember that cringeworthy Oprah interview? The one Harry and Meghan must have thought was a full-blown Kardashian spin-off spilling the royal family's dirty laundry. Yeah, that one. Unless, of course, you ask Prince Edward and his wife, Sophie, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, who have a few thoughts of their own on the subject. And boy, are they spicy. Way Prince Edward was quizzed about the Oprah interview in a chat with The Telegraph, said, "God bless him, Oprah who? I mean, can you even?" The shade of it all. Sometimes it's like he was bred by the sass master queen. May she rest in peace. But wait, it gets better. Sophie, when her husband says same here and why should I be left behind giving interview, alright, let me pick my jaw off the ground now. Levels of unbothered, out of this world. Is Montecito over there like sipping tea from a Buckingham Palace armchair while binging The Crown and pretending they're as regal as Queen Elizabeth II? Okay, but really though. So buckle up little ones for this shenanigans of an episode, as the royal asshattery goes way out my back and I will flip everything over like one of those damn onions from Shrek. For starters, the timing. This follows the couple savaging the royal family year on year with one little dig after another. We got books, we got specials on Netflix, we got more interviews than I've had hot dinners. The royals, of course, have been deploying the stiff upper lip at maximum capacity throughout all of this, but oh no, not today. The Oprah who that comment is the royal version of a mic drop. Edward and Sophie might just be thinking, who cares, we have put up with you two B-listers long enough. And TBH, I love it. Harry and Meghan are, after all, the ones who continue to suckle from the royal teat since stepping down from their senior roles in the firm. No surprise, then, they cannot refrain intercepting the news cycles with another set of resurrection clause, nor from securing those gold leaf Netflix deals or those six-figure speaking engagements. It's simply part and parcel of their privileged birthright, right? Their feet weren't just swept from beneath them, the carpet was ripped out more ruthlessly than you or I can say, God save the king. Oh, and also hi y'all, can we talk about how brilliantly played this was for a minute? Edward and Sophie claiming they had no idea the Oprah interview was taking place. Basically, they are implying that as Harry and Meghan managed all of a mere 2 words say tooth really quickly, the answer is no, they could not. It was almost a pat on the head, like they were saying, oh, did you boys have a morning show? That's splendid. But trust me, that was not the Oprah interview they were talking about. Oh no, my buddies. But this was as much about establishing who is really in charge at the palace to Harry and Meghan for good. The other side of his family was telling them, you've had enough of this? Go ahead. Or that your shenanigans will be on a temporary pause. Harry and Meghan have certainly had their fill of that. They have been playing games. Your gaga for the royal family is saying you want others to pick up the tab. On one hand, they wanted their privacy respected by the media, on the other, they aired their dirty laundry before a global audience. They wanted to be financially independent, yet they earned from their royal connections in every corner they traveled. Harry and Meghan, my dear, the joke is over. Edward, We have a wager, Sophie, 2 chic lines is all it took. Shut up all you Sussex fans. You are no doubt, in the comments, tapping away that Harry and Meghan are just speaking their truth or they a victim of some unnamed system, but to you I ask. Colin's spelling mistake victims? So why do they return for more? How can the royals family be so toxic when you will not stop talking about it? The answer is simple. Meghan and Harry, the uproar Twitter, hardly any disrespect to Harry and Meghan, however as a result of their royal connection, they type of do nothing, an ideal mix 5 days in the past USC agrees to a brand new contract with football coach Clay Helton, voice of the folks 9/18 UTC plus 7 UTC plus 6 September 2020 September. In other words, it isn't going to be another celebrity footing the bill for a $14 million mansion. Edward and Sophie's comments show that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have had the rug pulled out from beneath them. Get English 1000_correct so describes programming as one Oprah interview last. It's the equivalent of shouting in CA piece, you are not the darling Princess of Wales anymore, and calling upon a huh? And this is, folks, the nub. That Harry and Meghan, the rebels against, the truth-tellers about and the escapees from the evil monarchy brand they have going, that is their entire post-royal brand. However, what if the monarchy refused to cooperate? When they are treated as such trivial annoyances, that we could scarcely even be bothered to memorize. I'll tell you what happens. Ultimately, it was a howl of humiliation for Meghan because she already knew deep down that without a royal name, without infinite bollocks and media attention, she and Harry, well, they belong to another stamp of privileged millennials who cry over where their whores went. But here's the real kicker. Harry and Meghan set fire to bridges, Edward and Sophie are now the real hard-working royals. While they had been at the King's Regiment, and had thus been under army discipline, and were just putting on that kind of friendly face which characterizes Britons in uniform. And then one day everything does get turned on its head, with just a passing word or two from the supporting cast. We are not the supporting cast, señorita, they say under their breath. No, miss, we are the leads. What comes next for the Sussexes? Unless, and here I stand up for myself, because otherwise it will be a royal scandal, goddamn bitch, I put in my 2 cents. More woe is me interviews and tell-alls? Because honestly, what else did they have left? But here's my hot take. This time it is not going to be suffice. The world is moving on. The way ex-royals score against them is nothing out of the ordinary anymore. Which goes double when it comes to comments like those from Edward and Sophie. The full-time royals are no longer mincing words. My advice to Harry and Meghan. Not that they'll take it. This is ridiculous, shit, or get off the pot. If you want privacy, go be private citizens. Cease ye your parasitism upon their royal qualities. Stop your King crying about a family you opted out of, and for the love of all that is good, do it with the awareness that nobody in the world should give a *T what you choose. Asking we're supposed to be thrilled just because at some point in time you lived in a real palace. I mean, come on, who are y'all without the royal name drag and the full-time tea spilling? Edward and Sophie told us you and I are nobody. A couple of has-beens using the last vestiges of their hustle to try and scam a buck off those desperate enough to want it. There you go, there is your dropping royalty, still fresh out of the oven. But Edward and Sophie have served up the gauntlet, and to be honest, I am here for it. This begs the question, will Harry and Meghan pull their weight? Or will they burrow further into the rabbit hole of oblivion? Only time can tell, but this is true. I mean, if you want to know what makes this thing tick, I am certainly here to eviscerate every shred of it. So please subscribe, thumb up, and most important, post your comments on this royal smackdown. Stay tuned, in the meantime, for further frightful tales and lurid tales on our YouTube channel. Subscribe here to be the first to read the latest gossip from the royal family.